Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the atmospheric of our world around us, and today we see that new arrangement of the geopolitical affairs, let's call it like this, is being created in the Middle East. And what's the one of the most important purposes of this arrangement? As always, geography will tell you the truth. Iran has such fortunate in the times of peace and misfortunate in the times of war location, like some other countries like Syria and Poland, for instance, that during peaceful times everything is fine because all trade routes, all connections go through you because there is no other way through which they can go. And if country is ruled by the smart people who know how to make business and take care of their own stuff, one can really benefit from this location. But when times are no longer peaceful and such a location belongs to the country which is not among the strongest ones at the moment, then one can become a very interesting cookie for superpowers. And this thing exactly happened to Iran, that is also within the orbit of interests of China, for instance, not only Russia and US but also China, because Iran has oil and Iran has deal with Russia that they sell the oil to China for the prices lower, like as far as I know, 20-30% for sure from the market price. So now we know partly the secret of great Chinese economy. Of course, cutting the expenses on the resources needed for production. Old trick, nothing new. And now, when this country called Iran is in trouble and some oil excavation installations were destroyed and so on and so on and so on, and still we don't know how the things will develop for it. I mean, for the Islamic Republic of Iran. I mean, we see that the one of the largest losers in this situation is China, because okay, they can take oil from Russia, but no one wants to be fully dependent. If one thinks logically, no one wants to be fully dependent from one provider of the important resource. That is why China would like to diversify its providers of oil, very important resource. So now Iran is slowly getting into the orbit of the West. That is why we see a really huge rearrangement. Also, there is a trade deal also negotiated between US and China, and it's not like this when, as I said in previous videos, that for instance only US has upper hand or only China has upper hand. No. If one is having so many trade connections with each other, one needs to take into account that both countries are heavily dependent on each other. That is why when they negotiate such serious deals, it will have some consequences for sure, but it will last long, and not always the outcome of these negotiations will be as expected, or it will be as assumed from the very beginning, in the beginning of the negotiations, because of course everyone who negotiated serious thing in life knows that initially we put much higher demands when we really want to get, and later we try to negotiate to the close to this what we really wanted to get. So now we see that geographical location tells us the truth and determines the politics. Nothing new, but very interesting things are now happening. We will see what will come out of it.